This episode of MMPQB is brought to you by Unleashed Music, helping artists like Michelle Malone, Dar Williams, Arctic Monkeys, and you to get their music heard by the right ears. Take your music career to the next level, unleashedmusic.com. Welcome back to the show for another week. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, MK. This week was a first for me. I had 3 people on the call this week, which is the first time I've done that. I've only done 2 or 1 so far. So, we used Zoom. I hope it sounds okay. Audio might be a little bit rough in spots, but I had a blast talking to Aster and Aud and Manny from the band Autumn City, and I hope you enjoy the conversation and go check out their music. First, I have 3 whole human beings with me. It is Manny and Aud and Aster, the members of Autumn City. They've just put out their new single, If I Could, which is beautiful and heartbreaking and a really great autumn song for the season. So welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, so this is a new project, right?
Yes.
Tell me everything. How do we get started? How do we meet?
So Aud and I have been friends for, Aud, how long have we been friends for?
2,000 years.
1,000 years. So Autumn City started, basically, I've had so many projects basically under like Aster Pheonyx project or something weird. And Aud and I were like, let's do an acoustic, let's find a whole new project and do Autumn City. So we came up with Autumn City as the name for the band. Aud and I did that for about a year. And then Manny just kind of showed up at a gig one day and was like, I'm going to just play on my knees.
Really?
So straight up, playing drums on the knees. So I go up to Manny. I'm like, do you play the drums? And Manny's like, no. So we kind of just, man, you just bought a cajon?
Well, Aud had one through Aud's endeavors in life. So Aud was just like, hey, I've got this box drum. You want to give it a try? And I was like, I've been meaning to buy one of those. I thought it would be cool. I'm like a professional steering wheel drummer. So I figured a box drum would be the next step. And yeah, Aud let me borrow hers until I bought my own. And the rest is history.
Yeah, well, I mean, cajon is a great, you sound like you have a natural sense of rhythm, and, it didn't take much to move to the next step of actually playing on something besides your lap or a steering wheel. And yeah, I love a cajon. I actually, one of the bands that I play in right now uses pretty much, a box drum and some other little kind of makeshift percussion things. And for one, I love how portable it is because, obviously one of the biggest drawbacks to playing in a full-on rock and roll band is hauling the drum kit around everywhere. So if you've just got a cajon, then you're the most portable drummer on the planet.
It is quite convenient, to be able to kind of take it with me. And my parents, who are incredible and very supportive, bought me a cajon carrying case. So I didn't even need to buy that either. They were just like, here, present. So I played a cabasa too, and I'll put that inside of the whole of the cajon in a package to keep it, safe. But no, it all travels. It travels very well together.
Yeah, that's a lot more professional than our drummer. He carries Rolling Rocks inside his cajon. He's just got 3 tall boys at any given time.
I can tell you from experience, it's so much nicer than being because you always feel like a douche being the lead singer and guitarist. You just carry your guitar in and you're like, I don't need a mic because the stage has a mic. But you're like, I feel obligated to help the drummer. But it's man, you got a cajon.
Forget it. She needs to start helping us.
Manny has less equipment than we do.
The bass amp is the heaviest thing in this band.
Yeah. My partner is also a bassist, so I have a lot of respect for bassists. He has a cabinet that is bigger than me. And every so often, you know, when he's like just coming off of tour, it'll be like in our living room for a while, and I'll like let it go for a few days, and then there hits a point where I'm like, can we please do something about the cab, because there's not a lot of living room to work with here. Yeah, so how long have you been playing bass, Odd?
Oh, wow. Many years. This is Aster and I started playing together, like 10 years ago?
I want to say like 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
yeah.
and I was in a couple cover bands prior to that. So it's been a long time, and I just love it. And I gotta say, playing with Aster and Manny is definitely by far my favorite.
Yeah,
Oh,
that long playing music,
Yeah,
and this
these
is it.
guys-
This is the project.
This is it. This is it. I mean, everything Aster and I have done together has been amazing, and everybody we've played with together, it's just been amazing. And the three of us we're very different, but we click, we connect, and we just have some type of bond. I don't know what it is. It's just amazing,
good
though.
hot energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you seem like three chill people who like to play good music.
yeah, totally.
Oh, who's this? This is nobody listening to the audio only version of this will have the benefit, but Aster, you've got a very cute little puppy who's joining you every so often.
Oh, this is Lucky Bojangles.
Oh my God. Look at that
That's my
face.
nephew.
Look at that
Yeah,
face.
this is their nephew.
That's an Ewok.
I think he's a Shih Tzu Bichon mix. My fiance and I have him. We kind of rescued him from this farm. But yeah, he's a little pain in the butt, but he's adorable.
Looks like a special little dude. Yeah, I wanted to say congratulations. You are engaged to a lovely young lady, and that's got to be very exciting, but also, you know, it's a COVID engagement moment. So can you tell us your engagement story? Because I'm also kind of like a hopeless romantic and love this stuff.
So, fun fact, we were friends for 2 years before we actually got together. And then we did get together. We formed like a cover band. So yeah, we basically had nothing to do during COVID. So one of our duets together, I basically proposed to her during that song.
Oh my God, stop. That is adorable. So what are your plans? Are you deep into wedding planning, or are you kind of like, let's just wait and see what happens with the pandemic?
We're like creepily way ahead of schedule. Like we picked, like these two were in my wedding party. Obviously they're the band of honor. And so we're not scheduled until October of 2022. But we're pretty much done for like a year and a half worth of planning.
Wow. So tell me about the wedding. Are you going big?
We're gonna keep it like 120-ish. We're doing it like a winery in the autumn.
Natch.
The band got wrapped into playing a song.
Of course. Yeah. I've
I was like, you guys have to play.
It
mainly
happens.
because I have to play.
Yeah, I mean
So-
that's what happens when music people get married. I actually the only wedding that I've been to this year was one of my girlfriends who's in one of my other bands, and you know, initially she was like, no, I'm not gonna have you guys do anything. I just want you to be guests, whatever. And then like maybe a couple months before the wedding, she's like, actually, well, because also COVID happened, and you know, threw a wrench in her plans, and things got a lot smaller. And she was like, you know what? I still really want you guys to be there, but it has to be a lot smaller. Would you mind playing like the processional and recessional? So we ended up like, you know, the rest of the band like played her down and up the aisle, and it was really, really lovely, and I don't mind at all. And then actually one of the other girls in that same band got married last year, and I DJ'd her wedding, and our band also played a couple of songs at her wedding. So it's like, you can't, you know, yeah, it's like such a big part of your life, and like, you know, getting married is such a huge part of your life. Like, of course you want your music to be involved with it.
Yeah, and I was like, these guys are going to be at my wedding party anyway. I was like,
Might as well.
It was like, you guys kind of have to play. And I was like, because we were all actually recording, if I could, actually, at the time. And she was like, do you guys mind playing that song that you wrote? And I was like,
Was that about her?
just kind of wanted to enjoy the wedding, but yeah. We'll do it.
Did you write the song about her?
Well, I wrote a song Spellbound about my fiance.
Okay.
Actually, while we were still friends.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it'll be on the album.
Nice.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
No,
Well,
it's,
we could detour from Wedding Talk for a second to talk about the album, I guess. So,
If we have.
when does the album come out?
We're hoping the end of the spring of 2021.
Okay.
Like COVID, it's like impossible to get together because you know it's rough because everybody's kind of like who's near who, and you know Manny just traveled, and you know poor Manny's in quarantine for 14 days because he went out of state.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to get to the 14th, but now there's like a 14-day quarantine. So we're hoping springtime.
Okay. Yeah. I've talked to a couple of different bands who have been, putting out new material and working on new material during quarantine. And, some folks are able to just record everything remotely and send it to each other. Some people absolutely hate working that way. I mean, what are your philosophies on that?
I mean, we like the vibe of being together. It just gives it that more organic kind of feel. So to be like, hey, Aud, lay down your bass, Manny, play down your percussion, like let's just blend it together. Doesn't really it doesn't give the feel that we want.
Yeah.
We want everyone to feel what we're feeling while we're playing it, because that's the essence of what Autumn City has been over the years, of just all feeling.
Yeah, like Aud had said, we're three different people, but when we get together and play, we vibe, we click, and we just run with it. And, this recording, if I could, was a little different because it was a different way of recording. We're used to just like blasting out and just going and taking off with every energy, and it was like, we have to maintain the same pace and make sure that we're checking in. And of course we did it because we're musicians, and we tried and we figured it out, and we made the mistakes, so we kept going. But no, there's nothing like when the three of us get together. Sometimes we would just jam, and I would leave my voice recorder on, and we would come up with the strangest stuff. Like around Halloween time a year ago or so, we came up with this little like ditty called Sexy Cop, and it just like out of nowhere. It was about like how everything mainstream now during Halloween is like, sexy ketchup bottle or sexy whatever, and we just kind of ran with it.
A costume that's not like X-rated.
Yeah.
So no, we definitely vibe off each other a lot and thrive in that environment. So it's I think that's something that's really important to the three of us, is when we get together and we make music, it's really special.
Yeah.
We play off each other's energy too. It's so much better to play in person with it. And I couldn't do the recording. I just wouldn't feel it as much.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing like playing live together, and I mean, obviously being in front of an audience is such a huge thing. Just getting that energy feedback, and it's tough. We all miss it. I'm actually playing a little gig tomorrow night for a bachelorette party, which we're really looking forward to, which will be small, but, we're just all so excited to have a gig that we're like, the energy I'm sure is going to be insane. And hopefully from the crowd too, they'll be so psyched to see live music. I mean, have you done any outdoor stuff this summer? Did you get to play or see any live music?
No, I mean, unfortunately, especially in New Jersey, we're so restricted with Murphy's Law. Like, he just actually kind of backtracked us a bit, where we have a 10 p.m. curfew again.
Yeah, same. New York.
So it's kind of like, and the places we play, it's like 25% capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like pulled back now, and it's like, do we want to play for 15 people, or do we just kind of want to like hold off, work on the album kind of a thing?
Yeah.
So we kind of we're like, hey, why don't we just put out an album, and then when this whole COVID thing's contained, we'll just play for the 250 people, give them an album, give them everything that they wanted, and just kind of give them a full comeback.
Yeah, summertime's a little difficult too, because I'm a camp director, so I had contact with lots of tiny humans this year. We successfully ran a summer camp for 457 kids over 7 weeks. Not one case of COVID, but it was, I'm going to be around anywhere from 100 to 125 people a day. And, you know, goodness gracious, something happens where one of them was sick, I would have hate to brought anything to, you know, my band family. So summer was a little challenging, but it's so funny. We got back together, like really seriously, like saying like, let's go with this. Let's like really do this. And then I think it was February, right? In February, we were at Aud's house. We did a live stream. We booked one of our favorite venues for a show where we were going to come out with our brand new song saying, hey, what's up, Autumn City? We're here. We did a live stream. We were scheduled, I think it was like April 11th is when we were scheduled for our in-person show for our Guess What, We're Here. And then halfway through March, COVID halted all of our tracks.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that we're able to start recording and seeing each other again, but definitely excited to get back out there and hit up those venues that we love so much and play for people.
Can I ask you more about camp directing during COVID? Because I have some camp experience myself, actually. I worked at a Girl Scout camp in, it was actually for Girl Scouts of Northern New Jersey, but it was in Glen Spey, New York. And I did that for 3 summers. And I loved it, but I cannot imagine what it must have been like this summer. Like, what did that look like for you?
Well, I direct a Girl Scout camp in central New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So I'm a lifetime Girl Scout, non-binary human that is now running a Girl Scout camp, which is really cool.
Love it.
It was awesome. I grew up going to the camp that I'm the director of, and we did it safely and securely with lots of social distancing, lots of hand washing, and lots of active communication. So the words, may I enter your bubble, were heard every single day, which really just meant put your mask on because I'm coming over to you. But consent building was really cool because we gave the kids the chance to say like, hey, no, I can't put my mask on right now. Like I just did this obstacle course and I need a couple minutes to breathe. So can we check back in?
Yeah.
No, my ranger is incredible. He is the best thing that has ever happened to my Girl Scout camp. I will say I am the second best thing because my ranger is definitely the best thing that's ever happened to that camp. And he was phenomenal, cleaning all the time. So super successful.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And yeah, like the Girl Scouts are a great organization. I actually never was a Girl Scout growing up, but just happened to just apply and get this camp counselor job one summer when I was like 18, and then did it 2 more times because I loved it and didn't expect to love it because I am not a team player really at all. Like I am very much not a team sports person. I'm not a like, you know, let's do things in a big group and do activities. Like that's not me. And I really thought I was going to go in and like kind of be the odd man out in that way. But instead I found this wonderful community of like so many people that I had so much in common with, so many interesting, diverse, crazy people. You know, there's nothing like normative about the Girl Scouts. I found like, you know, it's a very gay place, which is awesome.
Really cool.
And it's
really cool.
And yeah, just having the opportunity to like, you know, meet all these kids, these brilliant, weird, funny kids, and provide this environment for them where they could be themselves, and you know, you could kind of like just guide them towards being better humans was so much fun and so great. And you know, I remember like you talking about like building consent and stuff, and I remember we would like do very like sneaky things so that they didn't feel like they were learning, but we were also like teaching them how to like use language in a more productive way. Like we wouldn't let them say anything mean about each other. We would like, if they were like, you know, tried to say like, oh, that's stupid, we would be like, just say you're silly, just say silly. Like silly is the only word you need. Like we like, and we turned it into like a joke so that by the end of the summer, all the kids were like loving it. Like, that's so silly. Everything's silly. And like, you know, they love everything their counselors do. So like, if we like modeled the behavior, they would imitate it. And like, yeah, it was like just one of the most just all around positive experiences of my life. So I'm very happy to hear that that was able to happen this summer.
Oh yeah, super successful, wildly successful. Actually, so my first cajon that I purchased myself, very inexpensive cajon, lives at summer camp. And I have it tucked under my desk. And anytime that we have an overnight or anytime that my kids are like really gung-ho in the middle of a song, like I'll pull my cajon out and I'll sit on my porch of my office and I'll just start drumming. And we've had kids bring in their ukuleles and we would sing and I would drum, and it was neat. So it's always a good opportunity to then bring music back in when I have this stage, like you were saying, like, you know, the chance to connect with these kids and tell them like, hey, you're perfect exactly as you are.
Yeah.
Like, just try your best. Be kind, stay safe, do you. You know, so it's nice. It's nice to be able to offer that opportunity.
Yeah.
And then again, like I said, tie the music back into it and tie the thoughtfulness into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. My proudest moment, I think, as a counselor was teaching my girls to do Space Oddity in 3-part harmony. that was like our big final project, like for this one group that I ran. I was like, I like played them Space Oddity, and then I like broke it down. I had like arranged all the parts beforehand, and they did it for the talent show, and they sounded incredible. And then the last day of camp, when they were like waiting inside for the buses because it was raining, they were like, we want to do it again, and they like sang it all together in like the hallway with like everybody standing around. I was like, oh, you beauties.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful, magical place, and music is such a big part of it too. I feel like if it wasn't on Zoom and there wouldn't be like a weird delay, we could probably sing a lot of camp songs that we both know.
Next time.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have? I'm sorry to hang on Girl Scout camp, but I'm so delighted to talk to somebody who knows about it. Did you do camp names at your camp? Uh-oh, did we freeze? Don't freeze, come back. Wait, I heard a sound.
So we're a day camp, and we names. So I tried, and I think
hear you.
so good. I can hear you.
Wait. Oh, okay. I think I've almost got everybody back. Sorry, everybody froze for a second.
I got everybody.
It's okay.
It's probably
God.
Okay, there we go. So camp names. Sorry, tell me again.
Have been pushing for my camp name because everyone always says, "What's your camp name?" It's like, well, it's just Amanda, because everybody tries to call me Miss Amanda, and I say, no, I'm not a Miss. I never have been, and I never will be. So Cap for short, Captain Safety for
Nice.
long, because I am the safe person that keeps everyone together. Yet, Aster, come on, Captain Safety fits me pretty well, right?
I'll call you.
That's
Captain
fine.
Safety
And I
for
told
now.
my kids to call me Cat for short, like a play on the Avengers. But if I did, it would be Captain Safety, aka Cap for short.
I like it. I like it.
Captain Safety.
What about you, Aud? If you had a camp name, what do you think it would be?
Some mellow, something mellow.
Just mellow is pretty
How's
good.
that?
Coin Mellow.
Part of this really,
Mellow
There it is.
digger.
it's part of this really cool metal detecting group.
Metal
That's
detecting?
Aster.
Behind all of these awesome
Yes.
things.
History hunting. It's more like not like the old guy on the beach trying to find the jewelry. It's the historic items,
Like what? What have you found?
like Revolutionary War.
All that.
I've powder flasks from the Revolutionary War, guns from the 1800s, buttons, buckles from Civil War time, Revolutionary War time, Spanish real coins, silver.
That's amazing. What got you
Amazing
into
things.
that? How did you find that hobby?
I was always just into adventure and clues and riddles and and then I was like, I heard about pirates and pirate treasure, and I was like, ooh, that's a mystery I could solve.
Yeah.
So then I started detecting, and then I met other people in this amazing community, and then a friend of mine, a lot of them do YouTube, so we just make more and more friends, and we learn so much from each other and support each other, and then we joined other groups, and they have history digs, and they have digging events, and we have friends all over the world with it. So it's still growing.
Yeah, that sounds like the kind of thing that, like, if you, obviously maybe post-COVID, but if you had the opportunity to travel, it would be so fascinating to do that in new and different parts of the world. Like, is that something you've ever done or would think about doing?
Oh, absolutely. We just got back, a couple months ago, even during COVID, from the East Coast of the United States trip. And we did that because we were supposed to go to the UK for a big event they had there.
Yeah.
And that kind of got postponed with everything. So we did our own trip, and we met some of our friends on YouTube, and we didn't have to pay for one hotel room. We stayed at everybody, we met through detecting and just blast. It was so cool. And they're all into music too. So our band's going to play at one of their events.
Oh, perfect.
So excited. Full circle.
Yeah, it's always
They love the new song.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they've been supportive.
yeah. Well, the new song is great, so I'm not surprised they love it. But yeah, it's always cool when you have your hobbies kind of intertwine. Like your one group also has bands and stuff like that. I always enjoy just crossing worlds like that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So Aster, what about you? What are you doing when you're not making music or planning weddings?
Working 9 hours a day.
Yeah, what's your hustle right now?
Basically it. I work at a Carrier, the air conditioning company.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Yeah, that sounds specialized.
I mean, even we're on a podcast, but no, half that time I'm like, Odd, what should we do for our band?
Yeah, we're going back and forth at work all day.
That's everybody. I mean, you gotta, you're gonna go crazy. I mean, I feel like I end up railing against capitalism on 50% of my episodes, but it's ridiculous to think that you're going to devote 9 hours of your day to the thing that makes you money, but you don't necessarily, I mean, I don't know that you don't have passion for it. Perhaps you do, and, I hope you do, but even when I was at radio, which was something that I was passionate about in a lot of ways, I was still texting my bands on the side. I was still, thinking about my hobbies. I was spending some time trying to practice Duolingo and learn languages while I was on the air, you can't devote 100% of your brain power to the man 9 hours a day. You know what I mean?
No way. 5 days a week?
Yeah.
That's
Please
crazy.
No, all day I'm texting them. I'm like, guys, we got this mission. What do we do? How are we doing? How are we getting this single out?
Yeah.
All the time, I'm super busy. Stop texting me.
A lot of the time it's me just being like, guys, I just got out of a meeting. What did I miss?
Yeah.
Scroll.
Manny's the one that's working.
Yeah.
I made websites. I've made an online store, websites, all kinds of social media. 95% while I'm at work.
Yeah.
Here and there.
That's when you
And I
do it.
still get my job done.
Same. Well, especially when I was at the radio, I didn't even have a desktop at the time at home. So when I was working on my band pages, it was easier to just do that in little 5-minute increments at work when I just had a spare minute. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
On your lunch break, have lunch at your desk. You got plenty of time.
I always did. I was always eating at my desk. So it's if I want to
Yeah.
update my band's Facebook page at the same time, who can get that mad about it? I mean, they could probably get pretty mad about it. I don't think they did though. You got a dog battle going on? So tell me
Luckily,
about.
I work on computers, so I'm always on a computer, so it works out well for me.
I'm like, I found this great site.
Well, today was an exception. Today it was just too busy. I was like, Aster, I can't do it at work today. Isn't it funny that Aster from AC works at an AC company, and all our
Oh yeah,
AC, and all our names start with A.
yeah.
That's true.
Oh, true. I didn't even put that together.
Weird.
Was that a
We didn't plan
factor
that.
in the naming of the band? Yeah, tell me about the band name because
Well,
That's why we picked Manny.
It's true.
We actually really did pull her out of the audience and say, you're drumming right in time on your knees with us. You pretty much rock. So you want to be in the band?
I was blown away. They actually literally pulled me up into the front because they saw me sitting in the seating area and just drumming on my knees, and they were like, "You, come here, do that up here."
Yeah.
Like
What?
what?
Drums?
Yeah, that's how it started.
No, I don't. I think my answer was no. I don't play the drums. I play the steering wheel. I'm pretty positive that's what my
I'm pretty
response
sure
was.
it was. Yeah.
you were
That's where.
You were Courtney Cox in the Dancing in the Dark video.
Right.
I had no idea what was going on, and then there we were, all of a sudden. Yeah. No, I went and saw them. So, like Aster said, Aster and Aud were together before I had joined the band, and I saw them play down in Asbury Park at the Yacht Club, and that was the first time that I had saw them play live. A friend of mine was really into them, so we went down to Asbury. Who doesn't love a good trip to Asbury Park?
I've done it.
And so that's where I heard their music for the first time, and it was like super groovy, and I loved how raw and filled with emotion it was, and how just like you can tell that they were both passionate about what they were doing, and it wasn't just something that like they were doing for as a chore or something that they were just doing like just to pass the time. It was something that they both like had a genuine investment in, and then the next time that I saw them, I think one more time also in Asbury. And they had like somebody playing a drum set, and I was like, oh, all right, whatever, it's cool. And then that person ended up not being able to continue on with their Autumn City journey. So the next time I saw them, Aster and Aud, the two of them were by themselves, and they pulled me out of the audience. And I think that was in like what, November, and then we were getting ready to record things ASAP.
Yeah. 3 weeks later, we're in with the Showplay Studios recording Tuesday song.
Yeah, well, when it's right, it's right. What's your songwriting process like as a band? Because if I could, you know, it's a very emotional, very raw song, and I'm curious to know, like, did you all write it together, or what's kind of the story there?
So, if I could, actually, about my aunt who passed away, and it was about the last conversation we had together, and she had said to me, literally the lyrics, you know, if I could go back, I would do everything right again. And I took that last conversation with her and I turned it into a song, because that's always my outlet. Like Aud and I have been friends forever, and Aud knows anything that I'm going through turns into a song. And this was one of those moments where, it took me a while to write this song, because it was kind of too close to home. Writing it, It was very hard to kind of sit down and write this song, but it was literally the last conversation that I had with my aunt, and those were words out of her mouth. You know, if I could, I would do everything right. And I was like, wow, you know. And I kind of I wrote this song, I brought it to them, and we played it, and it was just kind of one of those songs that just kind of kept evolving, and we're like, this has to be the first song that we release. Like, it just has to be. Yeah. Well, you sing it beautifully. I mean, you sing with so much power and emotion, and I can't wait to play it at the end of this episode. I'm delighted to be able to share it. No, we appreciate it. It's one of those songs that we all kind of get those feels for, you know, because everyone can relate to it, you know. Everyone just, even if you don't take it from, you know, my perspective of how I wrote the song, but like, I think we all kind of reflect on our lives and just kind of say, like, you know, if I was in that situation again, I would have done this right. Like, you know, I think we all kind of look back.
Yeah, absolutely. Like listening to the song, you know, myself for the first time, like, even though I didn't know the context of what specifically you had written it about, I was still like, you know, wow, like this is such a universal feeling of like, just, you know, wishing that you could do things again or do things differently, or just change time. And it's a universal human experience kind of song, and it's sung and played really beautifully.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
No, these guys pick up, like, I swear they're in my head, like, while I'm writing, because it's just amazing. Like, I'll be like, hey, I just wrote this song, and then just like automatically just start playing. I'm like, you've never heard this before. Like, how are you picking up on the feels of this song?
We've actually done that before a couple times. Just Aster's like, oh, I was working on this riff, and I these lyrics, I feel like they really go well with it. And then Aster will start going, and Aud will just like, you see Aud like listen, and then look, and then listen, and then start just like figuring it out. And Aud starts bopping, and I'm like, all right, that's bop that Aud's going with. That's the bop that I'm going with. And we just run with it. It's real natural. It happens without us even thinking, I think.
Yeah. That's the
We
best.
just feel it.
That's the best.
We feel it. That's it. Yep.
That's when you know it's right, when you can just trust your band and trust your bandmates and just know that like you're all on the same wavelength. And if there's something that, and I've been lucky as well to have, bands like that where if I have an idea and I'm like, hey, like, I think it'd be cool if it sounded like this, and nobody's going to take offense. Nobody's going to, have an ego trip about it. It's just like, sure, we could try that. And I'm also coming from a place of like, if that's not your vision, then we can also talk about that, like it's so, like the three of you obviously gel really well, and it's very nice to see.
Yeah, and I mean, Aud and I have both been in so many bands over the years that this is the first band that I've been in where it is like that, where you kind of like, I'll be like, hey, I have this song. Everyone just kind of like gels in, and there's no like hard feelings if somebody's like, hey, I think we can kind of do this, or I think we should do that. Like it's kind of just almost like an unspoken agreement where it's like this next level world. It's amazing to me. Like when we get together, like I'm in awe of the two of them when we play together.
Yeah.
And that's how we feel about you.
Agreed.
I wish we could all give each other a hug.
Except Aud, don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
We played this weird show in Port Jervis, New York. It was in New York.
I'm very familiar with Port Jervis. Yeah.
I'm not. So we all in Jersey crammed into our car. It was like how long was it? It was a long trip.
It felt like forever.
Like 3.5 4 hours.
It was too long.
Yeah.
So we drive to this place, and I was getting bored. So Aud was driving, and I just kept like weirdly reaching for her hand. And I was like, don't touch me. I'm like, all right, this is the perfect opportunity for 3 hours to keep trying to touch Aud while she's driving.
Oh my God.
I'm just really surprised that Aster has not written a song called "Don't Touch Me." I really am.
We still have.
I'm still waiting.
I have to write.
Yeah, not yet. Because I mean, that's what you want to do when someone is driving a car, is you want to bother them and distract them.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
You have a car full of equipment and 3 people. All I want to do is just bother Aud who's driving.
Yeah, naturally.
I'm just in the back watching all this unfold, like, wow, all right, this is gonna happen.
And then Manny pulls out the camera.
Oh, good. So you got
Usually
you got evidence.
It's on video. It's on video. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Now I'm going to touch you because I'm like a 3-year-old. So I'm touching you because you said not to.
Yeah. Well, you got to sample it. You got to work it into a song on the record. Just a little, like, you can like backmask it and like put some reverb on it. But
yeah, it could be like the bonus track.
Yeah.
Song 13, that weird track that nobody hears.
Yeah, because it's at the end of the last track, like 18.5 minutes after the track is over.
Old school albums.
Oh my God. So will you indulge me in some more wedding talk, because I'm dying for it. I'm also a wedding DJ in normal times, so it's like a pretty major part of my life too, is doing weddings. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious about whether you were a little girl who dreamed of your wedding, or if this has all been kind of like from scratch, or is your fiance more the one who like had a vision?
Keeps looking at her.
Yeah, my fiance is actually smiling at me right now, being like, "See the right answer." No, I never wanted to get married growing up ever. No. But then I met. Obviously, you can't see as I'm like pointing to my beautiful fiance. I don't know. I met her, and it was just kind of like the wedding planning was so easy that it was just, like I said, it's done pretty much until like 10, 12 months from now.
Yeah. I mean, are you a fan of going to weddings? Like, is that something that you consider fun, or are you more like, oh God, please don't? What's that?
Like, is anyone a fan of going to weddings?
Yeah. Manny, Aud, no? Just me? I'm the only one who loves a wedding?
I mean, I've sang like people's wedding songs, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But like going to weddings, not really my thing. I mean,
What's
going
not
to
to
my own
love?
wedding, I'm sure
It's an open bar.
not always.
Not always.
Shockingly.
Yeah, no, for
I just
sure.
got back from a wedding. That was fun.
Oh yeah, where'd you go?
North Carolina. One of my cousins got married.
Yeah.
So.
Did they keep it small? Keep it family?
There's only 45 people there.
Yeah. That's what
And
it's
we were
like this
outdoors
summer.
the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, that was what the only
Unlike
wedding I
the
went
two
to.
of
this summer
them,
looked
which,
like.
big and extravagant over there, right, Aster? You're going big.
We're going 120 people, and you're like 3 of them.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I my boyfriend's brother got married last summer on Long Island, and it was, I think that may have been the biggest wedding I've ever been to, and it was just incredible. Like they just nailed everything. The DJs, like, I'm a DJ myself, but I will be the first to admit that a lot of wedding DJs are extremely corny, and these guys, like, they were corny, but they had so much energy. They kept everybody moving the entire night. And like, if I have one failing as a wedding DJ, it's that I'm a little bit too chill. Like, I don't like to like push anybody to do anything they don't want to do. So I'm never going to be the like, all right, everybody on the floor, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, this one was requested by the bride. Like, I'm just like maybe a little bit too laid back as a DJ. So like these guys, like the energy was at 20 the entire night, and like, members of my boyfriend's extended family who I had never met, who were, rather elderly, were on the dance floor the entire time. It was super impressive. There was way too much food, way too much alcohol. I bonded with lots of cousins that I don't know who they are now. Which is that's what I love about a wedding, like, is, just blending families and, having these wild times and crazy conversations with people that you may never see again. And of course, an open bar is not a requirement. There's a lot of people for whom drinking is not a part of their lives, which is totally fine. But, as somebody who does enjoy alcohol, I enjoy the open bar aspect of many weddings.
I feel like you should just crash our wedding because it's at a winery.
I might come. You might not be able to stop me.
I'll send you the info. I'll just text it to you. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm part of the DJ group.
Yeah, totally. Are you doing DJ or are you doing live band? Well, you're doing, obviously, your band is playing a little bit.
Well, they kind of got, we all kind of got, my fiance forced us all into playing.
Yeah.
But,
anything for her.
I'm sure she had to twist your arm.
I walk across by a truck for her. But, no, we're going to do a DJ, but we're doing like a rock tail hour. So we like pick like all like hard rock songs.
Nice.
Autumn City's going to be on the playlist.
Nice. Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And then, it'll be fun. It's basically like the people that we talk to all the time. We were like, why are we going to have a wedding where we like, I don't see you for like 7 years, but I'm going to just invite you. So it was kind of like, let's just keep it small. Let's keep it like the people we legit talk to like all the time. Like, I know them, you know them. Like, I don't want to meet anybody for the first time at our wedding. Like, that to me is weird.
There, I agree with you. Yeah, I think that if the couple doesn't know the person, then the person doesn't need to be invited. Like, I understand the etiquette of like all of the, fifth cousins and distant great aunts needing to be invited. Like, I understand that that's tradition, but personally, I think that if you've never met the person, they don't need to be at your wedding. If I had my way, I would probably keep mine to more of like a smaller friends. Like, I don't really have a big family either, but my boyfriend has a very large family. So, if and when it happens, like, it will probably be large, which is great and wonderful. But like,
Play at your wedding.
yeah,
We'll
yeah, I may hit you guys up.
Yeah, because we're both Italian, so like, everybody's like 17th cousin who knows like Uncle Bambino is coming to the wedding. I'm like, I don't want to be walking around our wedding for 4 hours being like, hey, I'm Aster. Like,
Yeah.
nice to meet you for the first time. Like, F that. Like, I want to drink the free wine that I'm paying for and have a good time, as well as like, these two guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so much logistical planning too. Like, yeah, because everybody wants to partake of the free wine, and yourself included. But then, like, you have to figure out how to safely get everybody back to the hotel, and there's so much thought that has to go into it that like you don't even.
Our hotel is on the premises.
Perfect. Yes.
You could legit walk across the street.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
That is ideal. Was this your number one venue choice?
Oddly, yes. With like it was very weird. We were kind of just like looking up winery because we love like Manny showed us Shamong. Their wines are phenomenal. But
Yes, Valentino is a little bit pricey. It sure is. Good wine.
Yeah.
But
So
the wines are delicious.
Yeah.
Great wines. But I heard about Renault's winery, and we literally just went down there for a weekend, and it was so rustic and so like cool, and we were like, this is the place. Like this is just like fire pits, bistro lighting, like wine everywhere. We're like, this is it.
Yeah, that
Totally
sounds auspicious. That sounds like a great place to kick off your marriage.
Oh, definitely. I just keep looking at Catholic. She's like, ee.
Is she super psyched? She's like the wedding planner of the two of you.
Oh, I wish that like visually we could show the book that has been created.
Oh, there's a book?
Let me just oh.
Aster, you're giving me anxiety over here. All right, you've got till 2021 and a half, right?
Everybody who's listening can hear, but this is a rose gold glitter book that we spent $40 on friggin' stick-ons.
Oh my god.
That legit say bride, you and me. Like this book should have been $7 somewhere. I think it cost me $80 to make.
Oh my
Sounds
god.
like a song in the
It's
making.
so beautiful though. Look at it.
It's a wedding planning book when we have an app.
But
There's an app, a free app.
But it's not the same.
$80 book.
It's not the same as when you have like a physical thing in front of you that you can flip through the pages and it stays the same. Like I love an app.
That's on our app. Actually, there's less stuff in this book as I look through it. That's on the app.
But you're gonna
Aster, you gotta text me the app. You gotta let me know what that is. Please text me the app.
The Knot.
Oh, the Knot. Yeah, that's a good one.
But the app is not a physical memory. Like this book is something that you will have in 40 years. You're going to sit down, you're going to look at this stupid book that you think you paid too much for, and you're going to love it so much.
And you're going to say, I can't believe you made me pay $40 for this.
God knows me. I'm like, that's like an hour and a half of my paycheck that I put into this book.
So funny.
Oh my god. Well, we are coming up on the end of our hour since I want to make sure we leave time to play this song. So I want to thank you all so much. This has been delightful.
That was a fast hour.
I know.
Jangles is like, I'm gonna bite your face.
Yeah, that's always what happens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was awesome being here with you. I really appreciate it.
Well,
You
so tell
rock.
me, likewise, and tell me where we can find. Hey, buddy. Where we can find your music. What are your main socials, and what's the best way to support Autumn City?
I'm so sorry. My dog farted.
He's like, this is how I support you, Mom.
Well, we're on Facebook. You can start there.
Okay.
Yes.
We're also on YouTube.
We are
But you have to
definitely on
search
YouTube.
Good.
Autumn
YouTube's the big one.
City Band. Autumn City Band on YouTube.
Okay. Good. Facebook, YouTube, Autumn City. And we have Manny and Aud and Aster. And again, this has been such a pleasure. You guys are hilarious. And I hope to be able to see you play in person sometime in the not too distant future.
Definitely, yeah. As soon as COVID's like, hey, bye, Felicia. We will come up north because I totally want to play Woodstock, New Paltz.
Yeah. Well, hit me up when you're ready, or when the world is ready, and I'm sure I can help.
If I could turn the sunrise back, I'd sit too close to you and watch the world turn black. If I could live inside my head, I'd replay all of the words that you last said. If I could learn how to bend time, I'd stop you when your smile met my eyes. If I could just stay there with you, I'd keep you close if it's the last thing I do. Just run away from the days to come. They're not good for you or anyone. Let's go out with a fight. We could bring back the light. If I could, I would do everything right. If I could just tear out your heart, and I'd make sure that it would never fall apart. If I could just tell one more lie, and tell you that I'm strong enough to survive. Just run away from the days to come. They are not good for you or anyone. Let's go out with a fight. We could bring back the light. If I could, I would do everything just run away from the days to come. They're not good for you or anyone. Let's go out with a fight. We can bring back the light. If I could, I would do everything If I could live inside my head, and I'd replay